Hey, ciao, my friends. What's up? Charles here, day number 39. You didn't see me day 38, did you? Because I was frustrated, I was fed up, and I'm just beyond help. More or less, I was just depressed and frustrated with the comments and just, I know the content is bad and it's boring and it's monotonous, and if I could make it more exciting, I would make it more exciting. If I could make my life more exciting, I'd make my life more exciting at this moment, my friends, but I can't, so deal with it like I'm dealing with it, okay? There's not much I can do to make this more exciting, my friends. And I lost my passion. You know, I thought of that yesterday. I think, you know what? I don't even want to make a video anymore. And that scared me, you know, because I've done this for 10 years, made videos about Serbia, talking about every single possible thing known to man, dealing with Serbia for 10 years of my life. And yesterday I got to the point, I don't even want to do it, you know? It scared me. But I'm back and in a better place mentally today. This helps. Mr. Nenad Krstic, hvala gospodine, and Sasha Vujicic, thank you. My two former first-round NBA picks and NBA player friends hooked a brother up. I'm drinking a Kruška, and that helps me. Kruška's beautiful. You know what I love about Rakija? I used to hate Rakija when I first got here to Serbia. I used to think it was just horrid, but now I really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite drinks, a quality one. This one's quality. Kruška's pear. My favorite thing with a Rakija, I like to smell it. Smell to me is so important. That's what took me so long to get to like Slivovica. I used to not like Slivovica. That's the plum. I used to not like it because the smell is not that nice. Now I like the smell. It took a long time for me to like. Kruška, Dunja, Kajsija, Breškva, those Jabuka, even those have a nice smell and they're easier to deal with. But anyway, I like to smell it. This instantly makes me salivate. Maybe because I'm an alcoholic. I don't know, but it makes me salivate. I love the smell of it. And then when you put a little bit in your mouth, oh, this instantly, you have little like pins and needles on the front of your tongue all the way to the back. Beautiful, sweet taste. Really hot air up into, like vapors up through your sinuses. And then you feel the slow burn, like volcano, like lava. Just, and it's slow motion. It's really awesome to feel right down into your gut. Dobra. Man, that's nice. Perun, Troglau. Two phenomenal brands here in Serbia. Both Slavic gods, you know, before Orthodoxy took a foothold here, those are gods. That's really interesting stuff. I want to find like some documentary on the former Slavic gods. I think that'd be really interesting. Iya biga, Yoshedna, and we'll get to this. I'm cooking over there, kupus and some chicken. If you hear something bubbling and boiling, you'll know what it is. I love the cork in this. It's hard plastic. Beautiful bottles. Hvala, bracho. My rukomet. Oh, did I say that? Well, that's rukomet. That's what they call in Hrvatska. What do you call it? Košara. Basketball. Oh, yeah, well, I can't even remember. We'll call them basketball because they played American basketball. Krstic played for Partizan. Anyway, my friends, let's just go and talk about this interesting stuff, and then we can all go about our daily business. The reason I'm doing this today is because of you. I had a lot of people message me, Charles, I miss you. Tell me what's going on, blah, 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 blah. So thank you. Volim vas. What's going on here in Serbia? Firstly, the numbers, 7,483 confirmed cases from the get-go here in Serbia. That's up 207 from yesterday. They tested 3,563. So 3,563, 200 confirmed cases doesn't sound too bad to me. 144 deceased. That's up 5 from yesterday. I think it was 4 male and 1 female. God rest their souls. March 15th here in Serbia is when the state of emergency was declared. And we're still under state of emergency. But tomorrow ends the 7th week of this mess. So they've said that it's up for discussion whether to remove the state of emergency. They're going to decide that here very, very soon. But even if they do, so these measures are still going to be in place, a lot of the measures that they put out here. We're under curfew right now, again, the weekend curfew, 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. on Monday. It's like 60-hour curfew we're under again. And they said expect that for maybe 2 more weeks. Next weekend, next Friday is 1 May. That's Labor Day here in Serbia. Lots of people go out, get together, big barbecues and camping and things like that. So the government's clamping down next weekend and possibly the next weekend after that, which would put us into what? Second week of May. That's Jumjivdan, a really big holiday here in Serbia. So they said expect possible curfews then also. But we'll know that at a later date. Air Serbia was in the news. Ivica Dačić, he said, expect the repatriation flights to cease. Repatriation, that's Serbians who are stranded abroad. The government has been decent here. Very generous. Don't criticize me. Every time I compliment the government here, I get yelled at and I get slammed. I know there's a lot of Serbians abroad who are stranded still, but the government of Serbia has returned 13,000 Serbians and charged 0. Serbians brought back free of charge. 2 evacuation flights for Americans, free of charge, paid for by Serbian government, or from you viewers who are here, taxpayers, paid for that. So thank you, I should say. But that is a very good deal because America's not doing that. I've got a friend, or not a friend, but a contact. He's a football player, an American football player in Ukraine. He's the one that messaged me. He said, how are you getting a free evacuation? I have to pay, and it's a lot of money to go in Ukraine to the USA. He's not going because it's really expensive. The U.S. government's charging a lot of money for that, and the Ukraine government's not paying for it, but Serbia did. But anyway, he said there's going to be probably more or less no more repatriation flights. Since things are starting to open up, they could probably get back themselves. He didn't say that. I'm not saying Ivica said that, but that's probably why. And then the terminology used here by Vučić and some of them about the airport opening and the opening of commercial flights has been really weird. He said a partial resuming of commercial flights around May 1st. That was his exact words. So somebody had asked him when is it going to come. He said around May 1st. Okay, around May 1st. That's really, it's not specific enough info. I want to purchase my tickets home. And I've been scared to buy that through Air Serbia. I like Air Serbia. I've had no bad problems with Air Serbia as of late. But I was reading some things today, people saying that they purchased tickets and they haven't been able to get their refund and nobody's answering. So I hate to book a ticket for the first week of May and then maybe the state of emergency gets extended and I don't get my money back and all the runaround. But they said, he said a controlled opening will be between May 4th and May 11th. Controlled opening around May 1st. Those are just odd terms. And then also, currently, Aegean Air, EasyJet, LOT, which is a Polish airline, and Montenegrin they're currently selling tickets to Belgrade from those. So Aegean Air, EasyJet, LOT, Montenegrin Air, they're all selling tickets to Belgrade for the second half of May, starting May 15th on. Cather Airlines, they're starting June 1st to have flights into Serbia. They still don't know if foreigners are going to be allowed in on May 15th into the country. I mean, for Serbians abroad who are coming back in, they will still have to quarantine for 28 days. They did say that. But foreigners coming in on May 15th, they don't know. They haven't said that just yet. So we'll find that out later. What else is in the news? Sanisha Mali. You gotta love Sanisha Mali. He added me on LinkedIn. Did I mention that before? Zhivali. Sanisha Mali, they was talking about that $100 stimulus out of that $5 billion Economic Recovery Act, whatever you call it. All the adults here get 100 euros. He said that payment to the pensioners are going out starting May 15th to the pensioners first. And he says others will have to confirm if they want it or not by telephone, I think is what it said. Who wouldn't? They did say in that article some people turned it down, but I guess you have to let them know if you want the payment. I mean, I don't know. That seems kind of odd. That's probably a great way for the government because some people probably don't know about it and they won't call about it and they don't have to send them money, I guess. What else is in the news? The Serbian budget. The Serbian budget... Since May 15th, Serbian parliament has not been in session. Since the state of emergency, they've been home. But the Budget Control Office in the parliament, whatever it is, they've accepted a proposal to reduce the Serbian budget by 144 million dinars. It's currently at 3,333,924,000, but they were going to reduce it to 3,189,944,000. That's going to be a 50 million dinar reduction in general expenses, $29 million reduction in travel expenses, $30 million reduction in maintenance. But, okay, all of this cuts, but guess what? No cut or no reduction to the MPs' salaries or bonuses. Those are going to stay the same, okay? Everything else gets to take a cut, but not the salary of the government officials. Must be nice, huh? I wish I was in charge of voting on my salary. Would that be great? What else? RTS. Yesterday was the anniversary, tragic date in Serbian history. 21 years ago, yesterday, 16 employees at Radio Television Serbia, RTS, were killed, lost their lives by the illegal bombing, NATO bombing of Serbia by 2 missiles shot at this TV station. 16 folks lost their lives. Just one of the many civilian buildings that were bombed in 1999, and still nobody from NATO is being held responsible for this. If an American does something abroad, it doesn't matter. If you were to have done that somewhere else, we would say, oh, Serbians, send them to The Hague, they need to be tried. But America, it was an accident, just like that civilian train, just like the Chinese embassy. It's ridiculous, it's unfair. Anyway, 16 of those folks were killed. I would read their names, but it'd take too long. So, God rest their souls, and all my love and support and sympathies to all the members of their family who are watching, if any of you are. Tragic. Also yesterday was the second Serbian uprising. Was yesterday, April 23rd, 1815. Milos Obrenović announced the beginning of a new uprising against the Turkish rule at the gathering of Takovo, Serbia. Unlike the first Serbian uprising, the armed conflict between Serbs and the Turks lasted only several months. The truce was concluded already in October of the same year. after which the Serbs were given privileges in their own territory. In the years after the uprising, Miloš Obrenović used the power of diplomacy to expand those privileges and to build the Serbian autonomy. The Ottoman Empire recognized the Principality of Serbia 15 years after the Second Serbian Uprising, but the new state still had to pay an annual tax to the Turks and maintain their military presence on its territory. To commemorate the event on April 23, 1815, the Serbian army celebrates it to this day. Interesting. So a really important day in Serbian history. Another somewhat interesting article, I thought. Serbia steel production. Serbia in this region is the #1 steel producer in this southeastern region of Europe. Did you know that? It said, but their steel production is down 19% from this time last year, which is significant. The second out of the 7 countries that it listed on here, the 7 countries that are the biggest in steel production in this region, in second place is Bosnia. And Bosnia had just half the amount of steel that Serbia produces. Serbia is a big steel powerhouse, if you will, in this region. What else? The Hungarian border. Serbia and Hungary have agreed to open 3 border crossings from Serbia into Hungary. But those border crossings, they did this after lots of static, if you will, from citizens who maybe they're from Hungary, they work in Subotica, or people from Subotica, farmers who farm across the border into Hungary. So they've opened 3 border crossings, open from 6 in the morning. Starting today, it was, because I wrote this yesterday. Starting at 6 in the morning, they was able to go across the borders, but only if you had valid work reasons to go across, not just tourists or anything like that, just strictly work-related things. Srebrenica was in the news. Srebrenica Memorial Center was in the news. They were frustrated with the Serbian media because they had released a statement in honor of the 75th liberation of Jasenovac's death camp over there in Hrvatska. They posted something, issued a statement where they were acknowledging their sympathies for the victims, the Serbs, the Romas, the Jews, the Croats, the Bosnians who were killed in Jasenovac. And this is their 25th, this year, 2020 is the 25th anniversary of the Srebrenica massacre, if you will. That term that I use, somebody's going to throw a fit about the Srebrenica incident, if you will. But they were frustrated because they said the Serb media ignored their statement. They said that Serbian media is no better than it was during the Milosevic time, that it's all political. And they said even something in here. They said just to show how Serbia feels about the situation in Srebrenica. It said to this day you can still buy in Zemun, Munze Konza, you can still buy a palachinka called Radovan Karadzic. And it says Vinko Pandurovic is still giving lectures in Belgrade universities and things like that. They said it's just like in the Milosevic era. Another thing I got ridiculed, I get so pissed about, when I mentioned Jasenovac, the American Holocaust Society in the USA said about 80 to 100,000 victims, okay? Balkan Insight, this media thing that's typically somewhat critical of Serbia, it listed in there 83,000 victims in total at Jasenovac. And then the Serbians will say, oh, there's 700,000. Okay, I'm not even going to mention the amount of casualties because if it's one person, it's too many. Okay, so you can pick your numbers, find them wherever you want. Every news source is so different, you know? And I just read what I find, my friends. And then some lady said, oh, you're so naive with these numbers. Kushka. Beji. I read what I find here. Serbia prepares to recast their budget. As I told you earlier, the budget numbers, they're reducing it, but it says that they're expecting now a 7% deficit in the Serbian budget. So they're rewriting it. Alexander Vucic says he does not want to exceed the 7% budget, but it's been more than they expected because of the shuttering of all the businesses and everything, of course, because of this. IMF and the World Bank expect Serbia to miss their 4% growth and to get into a recession. And then they expect a significant rebound for Serbia in 2021. That I said the other day, they expect Serbia to be one of the better economies here in Europe in 2021, growth-wise. Serbian tourism took a big hit. They said Serbian tourism is expecting losses to exceed 151 million euros. I'm an idiot. Serbian tourism is in trouble. They expect losses to exceed 1 billion euros on this. There's currently 400 million euros in cancellations from January to June. Tourists around the world have canceled their travel plans or hotels and stuff up to 400 million euros up until June. So they're expecting about $1 billion. And that's not including Air Serbia losses. That's just strictly anything to do with tourism, hotels, restaurants, travel agencies. And here in Serbia, there's a ton of travel agencies. Everywhere you look, there's a little travel agency. What else can I tell you, fine people? Anything else you would find somewhat interesting? Oh yeah, the Serbian transportation sector is suffering $140 million in losses. The estimates could end up reaching $700 million in losses for the transportation industry here in Serbia by the year end. It said road freight is down 20% because of the pandemic. Rail freight is down 10 to 15%. Air Serbia has already lost 35 million euros. I mean, it's just a bad time for all of us, my friends. And that does it for today. Hope you learned something. Hope I wasn't too extremely boring today. And I'm sure my video is going to be about 30 minutes. I have no idea, but I ramble frequently. And yeah, big it is what it is. You're the one watching it. Živeli, uzdravje.